right, I think I'm good to go. I think we're good to go.
Test. Yep.
I'm here. Are you commentating with me? What's that? Are you commentating with me, or are you coming up for an interview? Yeah, about that, but it's up to you for now.
Oh, here we go. We're live.
Dang.
Under 15. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
all right. That'll work.
I'll give you the little cue when we're going to go live. We're just waiting for Aaron to get the live stream up and running.
Sweet. That's good. You know anything about Cheyenne? How they did last time? I think we lost, didn't we?
See, I would have done research on it, but
I think it was 3-1 last time. Kind of a disappointing one, I think is what they said. So hopefully we can perform well today and get after a little bit.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I can get it up now.
I want to get a photo of this, Jamie. This is sick. Let's go. Flip this thing around. The girl showed me how to do this the other day. How to flip or whatever. I don't know what she did. Crap. Switch, there it is. This is like, these headphones remind me of like, I don't even know, some elementary stuff a little bit. Oh, Kim. I know that line judge. Oh, there we go.
It's quite fun just to watch them warm up, even just seeing them just kind of like how they prepare, and I mean that was a good set considering.
Well, Sante there just absolutely pound one inside that 10-foot line, so that's just fun to watch. The cool thing about this freshman group, man, is they're young and talented too. I'm excited to see them grow. Are we live?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Kristen, is this going to give me a headset hair?
Okay.
Oh, we're just over here chatting too. Of course. You want me to hang out up here? You want me to hang out up here and watch this game with him too, or is Bill doing it? Okay. We can go back and forth if we need to.
Well, welcome ladies and gentlemen down here to Torrington, Wyoming on this lovely afternoon. My name is Jamie Lambert. I will be your lead commentator for tonight, and I am now joined by basketball assistant coach men's and women's, Sheldon Lee. Sheldon, how are we doing tonight?
Jamie, my guy, I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you very much. So just run me through kind of the start of your basketball season, kind of what's pre-season looked like, and I know that you recently went up to Shadron to do a scrimmage, so just run me through how that went.
Preseason, yeah. Once we got the guys back on campus, man, it was a ton of fun to kind of just get to see some personalities and get right to work within limits, obviously, with the NJC AA. Oh, sorry. Clearer? Is that better?
Yeah.
There we go. My fault. Yeah, so just within the restrictions, obviously, we got right to work and trying to develop some relationships and understand some skill sets and what we need to do to implement and get things rolling. But, yeah, preseason game on Sunday against Shadron. You know, they got a thing where they clear the half and the score, and I think we won both halves, so that's kind of an exciting thing. But obviously, it doesn't count for anything or mean anything. But just kind of good to see all the guys that we have, which is a ton this year. We have 19. We're redshirting 3 of them, so 16 technically in Jersey. Just kind of good to see them guys get some minutes out there, who gels well together, what units that we want to see. So yeah, the preseason so far has been a lot of fun and a lot of work, and we're excited. We're really excited for this year.
And looking forward to kind of like the rest of the games that you've got planned before season, kind of just run me through what they look like.
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually go to Colorado, Windsor, Colorado on Thursday for a couple of games, 12 o'clock, and I believe 3 o'clock as well against a couple. I don't know where they're at, what region it is. That's something I'm still trying to learn as well. But a couple people at this level, a couple teams, excuse me. Just, again, right now it's just meaningless games as far as wins and losses, but meaningful games when it comes to just reps, quality reps, in-game reps with our guys. Again, because we have a lot of guys here that need those live reps with each other and trying to compete and learn to play together. So we have that, and then the following Wednesday here at home against South Dakota School of Mines, I believe. And then that Sunday as well, we go up to Black Hills State and see if we can go get another worthy opponent, compete and learn some more. And then we're on the road on Halloween for our official start date of the season. So looking forward to that. Busy preseason for sure, but it's what we need.
And just run me through kind of so far the second years that have come in. How have they developed from last year, and the freshmen that have come in? How promising are they looking?
Oh, our sophomores, yeah, they've definitely developed their bodies and gotten mature and stronger and figured out what they needed to work on with their games. We kind of gave them a routine and a program and a plan and something that we'd like to see them improve on, and they've all done a really, really good job on that and developing their games and their bodies. Freshmen coming in, yeah, we're still trying to learn a lot of them and get them into pace, but a lot of them we brought in for a reason, and so I think they're going to fit in well with the sophomore group. I think some of the freshmen are ready to plug and play as is now, and again, they're also trying to develop their bodies and this culture out here in Wyoming, and us coaches as well. And I think the sophomores are really helping with that development as well too. So the groups that we have in right now, really awesome, ton of fun to work with at the moment. So,
and just kind of outside of basketball for a second, just generally, how has this year been for you so far?
Oh, well, year twos are always a little bit better than your first year, just because, again, for myself as well, just trying to learn. Like you had mentioned, I coach the boys and the girls, so I had to learn 2 coaches, 2 philosophies, 2 systems. Also, I mean, outside of basketball, administration and the community itself. I grew up not too far from here, but moved away for a while. And so, just trying to get familiar with the land again and just the people in the community. And, I'm a kind of a social guy, and so I just wanted to meet a lot of people that I'm going to be working with day to day outside of basketball. And so, Year two's been really good, smooth. I think a great transition. I'm finally settled in, and I feel good about where we're at with both programs, and being able to work with two really good coaches, honestly. So, yeah, year two's been good, man. Thanks for asking that.
Well, Sheldon, thank you for the insight just quickly before pre-game. We're just going to quickly run through the rosters now ahead of the start of the game. And first off, we'll start with your visiting Laramie County Golden Eagles. We have number 1, Kiani Domingo. Number 2, Adriana Deming. Number 3, Shaylee Ulrich. Number 5, Zoe Bauer. Number 6, Emma Laurel. Number 7, Addison Schuers. Number 8, Beatrice Nani. Number 9, Leah Susoy. Number 10, Jordan Kroger. Number 11, Savannah Cummings. Number 12, Ella Lopez. Number 17, Catalin Honfi. Number 18, Celia Yildiz. And number 19, Sierra Eastman. And for your hometown Lady Lancers, we have number 0 from Torrington, Wyoming, Olive Osmera. Number 2 from Sandy, Utah, Brinley Huff. Number 3 from Belgrade, Serbia, Vladimir Ristic. Number 4 from Evanston, Wyoming, Jaylee Critchfield. Number 5 from Wautoma, Wisconsin, Alison Botters. Number 6 from Borås, Sweden, Clara Hayhinen. Number 7 from Lusk, Wyoming, Gracie Zumbrennan. Number 9, Kruševac, Serbia, Una Stepic. Number 10 from Pavilion, Wyoming, Kylie Honstein. Number 11 from Warland, Wyoming, Addison Rollins. Number 12 from Bridgeport, Australia, the land down under, we have Tessa Kilcherman. Number 13 from Campinas, Brazil, Ana Carolina Medeiros. Number 14 from St. Cloud, Florida, we have Alana Asante. Number 15 from Las Vegas, Nevada, Piper Halverson. Number 16, Wrangley, Colorado, we have Annika Cantrell. Number 18 from Las Vegas, Nevada, we have Lola Hughes. Number 19 from Meriden, Wyoming, Savannah Kirkbride. Number 20 from Spanish Fork, Utah, Amory Huntsman. And to round out for your Lady Lancers, number 23 from Pine Bluff, Wyoming, Rachel Macy.
There you go, man. Good job.
Number 3, Vladimir Ristic, and number 15, Piper Halverson, will be ineligible for the Lady Lancers tonight. Both out through knee injuries. Well, Sheldon, I'm looking forward to this game. How are you looking forward to it?
I'm excited, man. Another quality opponent, another region opponent as well, too. So I'm excited to see how this matchup goes, man. I appreciate you having me up here and kind of talking about this here. I need to get back on this mic, too. You better let me know, man. This will be good. Super excited for this matchup, though. The girls had a really good weekend last weekend, too. So seeing how we round out this week.
And obviously the Lady Lancers have played the Golden Eagles already this season. Going to Cheyenne, they lost 3-1 in sets. But overall, that performance was promising, and this as well, Sheldon Leeds, looking like to be another one.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see how the girls perform and continue their hard work and have it on display for us here. Here's my guy, Adam, here. Is he ready to interview as well, too?
I think he's actually our main cameraman for today.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How we doing, Adam? We live.
Well, we are just going to quickly head to a break. Join back with us in a second,
awesome.
And we will get things underway.
Awesome.
Welcome back to us, ladies and gentlemen. You join us here in Torrington, Wyoming for this match-up between your hometown Lady Lancers and the Laramie County Golden Eagles. I look forward to bringing this game to you tonight. We're going to have Coach Bill Engel up in the commentary booth again for this game, and that will prove to be hopefully another good game and another good watch. Just looking quickly at the last game for both teams. As you might be well aware, we hosted a game at home last week. If you give me a moment, I'll be able to tell you who against. But first off, let's talk about Laramie County. Laramie County did lose 3-1 to Casper College. They were at home as well. Looked like a fairly good game from the look of it, but I think throughout the game there, Laramie County did struggle at times. We are going to cut away now to Bill Engel down on the sideline, who is going to do announcements quickly before the game. And he will give you your starting lineups for today's game, as well as per usual, doing our national anthem.
Welcome to the Torrington, Wyoming Youth Eagles meeting for Laramie College. The Earl Fest Junior Activity Center. Tonight's contest between the Golden Eagles of Laramie County Community College and your Eastern Wyoming Lancers. The National Junior College Athletic Association, Region 9, Eastern Wyoming College, promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Negative comments, profanity, racist, sexist, or other abusive comments or actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated. Eastern Wyoming College thanks you for your support and cooperation. As we honor our country, let's never forget the brave men and women that have and are currently serving our country. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise while headgear and play our national anthem.
So that was Bill Engel there, just reiterating over the starting lineups for you for your Laramie County Community College Golden Eagles, we have number 2, Adriana Deming, number 7, Addison Schuers, number 8, Beatrice Nani, number 9, Leah Susoy, number 11, Savannah Cummings, number 12, Ella Lopez, and number 18, Celia Elders. And for your hometown Lady Lancers tonight, we have number 0, Olive Osmera, number 6, Clara Hayinen, number 9, Una Stepic, number 11, Addison Rollins, number 14, Alana Asante, number 16, Annika Cantrell, number 20, Amory Huntsman, and number 23, Rachel Macy. Well, we're just about ready to get going here in Torrington, Wyoming.
Here we go, Jamie.
Here we go. It's going to be a good game, I think. Both teams are quite evenly matched up. The 3-2 win against Gillette on Saturday night, I think, really has given our girls a bit of confidence kind of going into the rest of this conference season.
Quick start. We need it. Let's do it. Here's our guy, Bill.
Yeah.
The swap here.
Coach Bill Engel is coming up to be colour commentator for me tonight. So, Sheldon, thank you very much for your time.
Jamie, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Here we go then. So Clara Hayhinen is going to get us underway here for this game against the Golden Eagles. Bill, how are we doing tonight?
Doing outstanding.
Fantastic.
Really excited about this match and looking forward to seeing our girls play again.
And the first serve there from Hayhinen just going into the net to take an early 1-0 lead for the Golden Eagles. It's going to be up to serve now. It's going to be Keeney Domingo for the Golden Eagles. Serve comes over. Osmer does well with it. Una Stepic with the hit. And it's going to be a point given to EWC.
You know what's good? You see that, we had a little service error there, but we come back and do what we need to do. They make an error, and so 2 unforced errors, and we're all tied up.
Stepic with the serve dug up a bit awkwardly there from the Golden Eagles. It's going to be Hayhinen to set for Cantrell. Looked like it was a little bit behind her, but nevertheless they started getting going, and LCCC put the ball out of bounds, and it's going to be another point for the EWC Lancers.
Yeah, good rally there for our girls, and just keep doing it. Stay steady there.
Stepic trying to go for the little dink that we saw a lot from Gillette last game.
Yeah,
Clearly have been taking some notes there, and that's a good hit there by number 12.
You know, it was a nice little floating serve and caused them problems. We got into system, but just could not finish.
Serve to the backcourt there, Hayhinen to set. And the little touch over by Addison Rollins is enough to kill the ball. And that's a good comeback there. That's a good kind of recovery to maybe what was a bit of a disappointing point to lose at the last one.
You know, it was. Anytime you get somebody out of system, you want to capitalize on that, and hopefully we can continue to do that. Like we talked about in the last game, if you can stay in system, usually win the game.
That's a good dig there from LCCC. And quite a tame hit over there. Hayhinen with a chance to set, and it is Huntsman with the hit down. And there I think we kept very well in our system, as we've been talking a lot about, and I think that was just a prime example of how George Hamilton can get his team working.
Yeah, I agree. They just did what they had to do there. Basically just pass that spike and put it in a tough spot for him.
And that's a fantastic serve as well from Osmer. Caused all sorts of problems for LCCC. Now another chance for EWC to capitalise, and that little touch over just not quite enough to kill off the ball, but that's a good block there from Asante. Spiked up. And it's going to be a point given to EWC here. Not sure if I know why. Bill Engel, can you give an insight as to what the point was there?
LCCC was in the net there. That was the call, and our girls just need to stay steady here.
Yeah, it's a promising start for your Lady Lancers. Osmo with a serve, a little bit too powerful to backcourt, and that is going to give the ball back to LCCC. But Bill, this is a very promising start to the game.
We like to see what we see so far, and sometimes you get these Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening games, whether it's basketball or volleyball, and everybody's looking just kind of trying to find their stride. If it's a Friday or Saturday game, kids are really excited, and those Tuesday games kind of got the barrage you got to get through.
And that was a fantastic set from Hayhinen there, who is going to check out of the game for Lola Hughes. Brindley Huff as well coming in for Annika Cantrell, and that set there from Hayhinen really putting that on a dime for Huntsman to get that hit and to really force that tip. It's a good set there from LCCC, but denied by Alana Asante, and that's something that she's proved to be such a force at last game. And Bill, it's just clear her presence on the net is one of the best on this team.
You know, it seems like it is. You know, she's a really good middle. She moves well, very athletic, very long. She just has a really good demeanor. And
another block there from Amory Huntsman, and Alana Asante working really well with her outside hitters.
Yeah, you know, Alana reminds me a lot of Ciali from last year. Ciali did such a fantastic job. Alana's a lot like her, same kind of bubbly personality, really good kid, and just does what she has to in the middle to cause problems.
And it's going to be an early timeout called here by LCCC and head coach Zach Shaver. And I think, well, if you're George Hamilton talking to your team here, you're just saying keep it simple. You know, you've been doing a good job so far. Don't get too complicated.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, if you use a baseball analogy, you know, if they hit it to third base and you knock it down, just pick it up and throw it to first. Don't try to do anything crazy. And I think that's what our girls are doing right now.
It's quite clear with the fact that EWC are very early out of that timeout, straight back onto the court. Early signs here show that Alana Asante obviously being the force as ever, but Osmera looking a little bit more comfortable in that libero role, covering for Vladana Ristic, out injured at the moment.
Yeah, you know, I think it's going to take her, you know, a couple games, which is expected, just for her to kind of figure it out, find her role, find her voice probably as a libero, and, you know, try to, you know, use some leadership skills.
Here we go then. Lola Hughes with the serve to backcourt.
Here's that all-important ATO, right?
And that's a fantastic hit from Huntsman. A little bit of a miss hit there from Brittany Huff, but nevertheless it's going to be a good hit and a good dig up from Lola Hughes. The set coming in from LCCC. The block there from Asante, forcing LCCC to go again, and they go over the back of the court. And I think that was a bit of frustration from LCCC.
You know, I think so. I think our girls just kept the ball off the ground, did a good job, just were consistent and stayed in the system a little bit longer. Nice to see them win that after timeout.
Serve from Lola Hughes there, just clipping the top of the net, and a block there from Asante. And my oh my, the Lady Lancers coming out to play today.
Yeah, they just seem like they're doing a really good job up front blocking right now. They are controlling the net and just need to continue to do it.
And that has gone out of bounds at the back of the court there, and not too bad of a mistake to give up, but it's going to be one of those, again, unforced errors that maybe we don't need to make.
Right, you want to make them play the ball there, even if you lose the point, make them play the ball.
Dug up well there by Osmo, the set from Hughes. The tip over from Huntsman nearly caught LCCC off guard, and that set is way behind the hitter there, and just caught EWC off guard even a little bit there, but LCCC did well to recover.
Yeah, I think the oddness of the set actually hurt our girls. You know, she adjusted to it and didn't hit it quite so hard and just dropped in front of us.
The ball coming in here, and the dig from Osmer a little bit off, but EWC do well to get it back over the net. And just early on there, you know, we reference it a lot, but out of system, and all of a sudden LCCC find a way to capitalise.
No, absolutely. You know, it wasn't a great pass to start with. I think Lola recovered really well to get it back in play. We got it over in 3, and then, you know, they were in system and they got what they needed.
Number 7 serving for Laramie County, Addison Schuers. Set from Hughes, just tipped over there by Asante, a little bit too hard though. And it's going to be out of play, and it's going to be a nice little run for LCCC here, and I'm sure the Lady Lancers will be looking to try and stop any momentum from gathering.
Lana's really good at the tips at the net. She always finds an angle by the line. That was just a little bit too much.
Good dig there from Osmera. She did well to adapt to that. Huntsman gets denied by number 18 for Laramie County, Sila Yildiz from Turkey.
It's like a 5-0 run right now for Laramie. I think if this goes one more, we'll probably see a timeout from Coach Hamilton.
Hartman doing really well to dig the ball there. Brindley Huff just doing enough to get it past the original blockers, and that's a really good adaptation there from Brindley Huff.
You know, it's the same thing we just saw from LCCC. They did the same thing. It was a set that wasn't quite where you wanted it, so you could bring the hammer, and she just adjusted and just dropped it right in front of their defense.
EWC there hoping that that is going to put an end to that momentum. Little shift that they had. It's a good set, and it's a great block from Asante there to get in front of that was quite enough, and she's done it again. Can she do it a third time? Not quite, but
I think it adjusted the hit though.
here's Brindley Huff and just tipping it over, and LCCC cannot keep it up, and that's again a really good showing of how Brindley Huff can just adapt to where the Laramie players are.
You know, Alana had 2 blocks there, and even though she didn't have the third one, I think it adjusted that gal coming from the back row.
Even so, that hit took a lot of net as well, so Asante doing a really good job as the blocker there, and that is a kill down from number 9 of Laramie County, Leah Susoy.
Yeah, that was a really good adjustment by LCCC, that they were tired of having to run into the hands of Alana, and they just went down the line to go away from her.
And that's a great hit down, and that's a good block as well from Laramie County. Una Stepic there, and that is going to hit the antenna, and it's going to be a point for Laramie. I think Stepic probably getting quite desperate for the point there.
Yeah, I think she tried to force it a little bit where it couldn't go, and she just needed to adjust, just get it in play. You got to keep them, make them play the ball.
That's a good dig there from Osmara. Huff with the hit, and Asante tipping it over and killing the point for the Lancers. I think that was a really good show of composure.
It was, and Alana's really played well this first set, and now she's back to serve, and just need her to keep it in play right now.
And Alana Asante, we know, had a few of those really powerful serves to backcourt. She tried another one, just catching the net there and giving the ball back to LCCC.
Yeah, we know she can really serve. She just sometimes a little erratic, a little too much on it. Sometimes it flies out of bounds. That one we're hoping just kind of bends the tape and would roll over, but she just couldn't quite get it there.
And it's going to be Savannah Cummings, the libero for LCCC. Dug up by Osmera, the set from Hughes. The hit from Stepic is blocked. And LCCC doing a good job at the moment of blocking Una Stepic. Obviously something that she adapted really well to in the Gillette game, and something that she seems to be just struggling a little bit for the moment.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's big time on their recruiting list, or on their scout list, and they're going to come after her. They're going to come after her with 2. She's probably going to have to make some adjustments.
Osmera doing well to take that. Again to Stepic, and it's going to be a tip. And that's a good call there by the line judge to see that.
I think that was just an adjustment right there by Una, her making a good play. She's been blocked twice, just trying to throw the hammer at him, and she just went down the line and caught a piece of the block, and it dropped in.
Lola Hughes and Brittany Huff checking out for Clara Hayhinen, who is up to serve, and Annika Cantrell is also back in the game. The set there, and it's a good dig there from Clara Hayhinen. She did superbly, and unfortunately the set there from Osmera just put in Amory Huntsman in a bit of a bad spot.
Just couldn't get it where you needed. She needed to get the ball up in the air a little bit and let our girls make a play on it. We were going to be out of system. Sometimes you just got to accept that.
That dig from Hayhinen, though, was a great way to try and keep the ball up in the air and to keep the point alive. Hayhinen to Stepic, just tipping it over. And that was a smart play there, I feel, by Stepic, and it was well read by LCCC. And again, just one of those of getting a little bit out of system is just so clear as to how quickly the tide can turn, and it's a tied game here at 14-all.
Yeah, they just need to keep playing here. They're going to have to make some modifications and adjustments as they go.
Amory Huntsman doing well to dig that. The set from Hayhinen.
Yeah, she came around on the slide. That was nice. Just couldn't quite get it down.
Set from Hayhinen. The hit by Cantrell, and that's dug up really well. But there's nothing that you can do about that, and Cantrell just tipping it over and getting the easy point.
Not always about hitting it hard. A lot of times it's just about where you hit it.
Number 11, Savannah Cummings there. Shout out to that dig. That was a fantastic dig to kind of keep Laramie in that point, and that's a great serve by Una Stepic. It's going to be an ace for her, and maybe a little bit of late momentum in this set that potentially this Lady Lancer team needed.
That was a great serve. You wonder if that's on the scouting report of if they're going after somebody here or they're just trying to put it on the line.
Oh, and a little dig there.
I think this is just her going solo. She's just mixing it up. You know, she went for a sideline on the first one. She went for the little float on the second one.
I'll tell you what, that little floater really caught LCCC off guard, and it was really clear to see that she fooled them there. Now going to go powerful back court. It was a good serve, but well dug up by LCCC, and they do well to get the point there, but a great little run there from Una Stepic.
It was, you know, 3 really good serves, 2 that she got points off, 1 she didn't, but, you know, we end up +1 on that, so, you know, take that as a positive.
It's going to be number 12 for LCCC to serve here, Ella Lopez. And Olive Osmer there, just slightly awkward dig, and to get it that close to the net, there was never really anything that the Lady Lancers could do about that.
Yeah, it was a really good serve, and you can see the LCCC servers are taking a sign from their coach. Their coach is giving them an indication of where to hit the serve.
Good dig by Osmer. The set from Heinonen, falling back on the EWC side, and that little touch over from Cantrell I thought was going to be good enough for a second, but LCCC doing well to recover, and another one coming in. LCCC needing to just get this back over the net. The set from Heinonen. LCCC recovering again, and that is a tip, and it's going to be an LCCC point. And to be honest, Bill Engel, that was a very well contested point.
It was. That was a good college volleyball. You know, both teams had opportunities that we couldn't quite get one down, and you know, they decided to go down the line. It almost looks like that's a coaching point for them, is as the point goes on and they get into rallies, that they're going to try to go down the line late. And you can see here they're really going after Olive on the serves.
And Cantrell is denied by number 9 for Laramie County, and their blocks at the moment have been a very prominent force, but as were ours in the first 10 points of this set, and George Hamilton there just calling a timeout.
It'll be interesting when Atlanta gets back into the rotation there, if we can get back to controlling the net. But, you know, if we watch the LCCC coach, he's a very good coach, and he has given his ladies, you know, exactly where he wants the ball hit on the serves every single time. The last few are going at Olive, and, you know, I guess they've got their reasons to do that, and, you know, we're going to have to make some adjustments. I'm sure Olive is up to the task, and she'll do a great job.
Well, just giving you a little bit of insight quickly to the last game that these two teams played. It was at Laramie County. Laramie County winning 3-1 in the end, and at the first set it was 17-25, but there's never a set here that looks like it's really one-sided. It was 25-17 in the first set, and then your Lady Lancers won 25-18 in the second set, and then third and fourth sets were both closely contested again, 19-25 and 21-25. So just adds up to be a good game again here. It's 17-18 as we speak now, and it's showing that it's going to be a very closely fought game.
Well, hopefully we win this ATO. I'm sure Coach Hamilton gave our girls some directions about what he's looking for here, and if we can break their momentum, tie it up, we'll get the ball back.
And as we were mentioning earlier, it's just about staying in system and staying present in that moment for our Lady Lancers here. The set coming in from Heinonen, the hit from Huntsman, good to back court, but well recovered by LCCC. Cantrell with the hit, recovered again by LCCC, dug up by number 11, but blocked there by Addison Rollins, and that is a good point for the Lancers to win to tie this game up.
Yeah, Addison and Annika did a great job there at the net. Again, stayed in system, got what they needed, and they got the big block.
It's going to be Olive Osmer to serve here. The dig there is a little bit awkward, and it made it awkward for the setter, but she used great presence of mind there just to tip it over and to get the point for LCCC.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's left-handed or not, but yeah, she made a nice adjustment. Instead of spiking it, she kind of gave it that little throw action and just caught us off guard.
The dig from Osmer, the set from Heinonen, and the kill from Asante there, and that's textbook volleyball.
You know, that was just kind of the same thing LCCC just did. Instead of hitting the spike, there's that little throw action there, and she just hit an empty spot right in the middle.
going to be Lola Hughes here to serve for the Lady Lancers, checking in for Clara Hagenen and Annika Cantrell. The set from Hughes and the hit from Huff. Down, and LCCC now with a chance to capitalise, but dug up well by Lola Hughes. The hit from Huntsman is going to go out of play. And for a moment there, it looked like it might just fall on the line, but just a little bit long.
Just a little bit long. You're hoping for a tip, but you automatically look at the officials, and it was pretty clear there was no tip there.
Trading point for point so far, the Lady Lancers and the Lady Golden Eagles. As the serve comes in here, dug up by Stepic. And the little dummy there by Asante. Thought it was going to catch LCCC off guard, but they hit it long. And again, Coach Engel, it's just trading point for point at the moment.
They are just a little back and forth here, and hopefully we can put a couple together and have a little run and win the first set.
Tied 20 apiece as Amory Huntsman gets set to serve. The set really off of what I think they were planning, and the block there from number 18 LCCC doing really well to block Brindley Huff there.
Yeah, they did a nice job getting to the net, and again, as you and I have talked about, you can't always power it through. You got to throw the change up once in a while and just tip the ball, just keep it in play, make them play.
And that point there just adding to a long run of trading points. Dug up by Huntsman, the set from Hughes, the hit from Stepic, and it was a good hit, but not quite enough to kill off the point. The set from Hughes though, and the hit from Huff, and it's actually going to give out the first consecutive point for a while, but a little bit long there from Huff, and again it just kind of comes back to the thing of what we were saying, not always necessarily going for power, just trying to delicately play sometimes.
Absolutely.
Set from Hughes coming in. It's a good dig there by number 11 for LCCC. Set coming in from Hughes. Tip over from Stepic. And the block there is fantastic by Asante. Set from Hughes. The hit from Huff. Good volleyball being played so far, and the little touch over is just enough to take it away from Lola Hughes. And that was great presence of mind once again from LCCC.
I think both teams did a great job adjusting to what's going on at the net. Both teams have been playing really well at the net, a lot of blocks. So now both teams are trying to tip the ball.
Olive Osmer's dig, and just a bit of a miscommunication there by Brindley Huff and Lola Hughes, but takes LCCC within 1 point of the set as Coach Hamilton's going to call a timeout here.
Yeah, it was a tough spot. I think Brindley wanted somebody else to get the ball so they could get her set at the net, and she probably should have gone and got it, but it's one of those things you just have to overcome, and it goes back to the importance of communication.
Well, overall, as we said in the first timeout break rather, it's been a very closely fought set so far, and there's not a lot wrong that the Lady Lions have done, but maybe just given up a few too many unforced errors.
A few of them late here. We were tied at 20, and now it's 24-20, so good timeout by Coach Hamilton. Hopefully we can string a couple points together and get this thing to, go to extras. I'm not sure what the correct terminology is for volleyball. I know you don't go to extra innings, but maybe you just go to extra points, we would call it.
Yeah, extra points. Have to win by 2. And for LCCC, they will be looking to come out of this timeout and get the job done. As number 9, Leah Susoy, set from Hughes for Stepic, just making sure she got it back over the net, but keeping it in play. And the tip there is going to give LCCC the all-important point to seal this first set. And Coach Engel, as we were just saying, don't feel like it's been a bad set for the Lady Lancers, but one that they've lost nonetheless.
It was a good set for them. They had a really fast start. I think we're up 10-3, and then we got it down to, I think we were behind 18-17, and then we bounced around all the way up to 20-20, and we just couldn't get a couple late.
And EWC here are going to be on the back foot. But nevertheless, they've played well, and LCCC, unfortunately, just right now have been matching EWC's efforts.
You know, it's one of those things of volleyball where it's kind of weird because you play that a full game. Essentially, you're playing possibly 5 full games that make a match, and you've got to sometimes lose games, and then you got to be able to get over it and get to the next one. A little different than other sports where you get to halftime and, you know, you're still in the same game. You know, this is just a different format. Golf, you guys get to the back 9. I guess you got to make big adjustments there where you guys maybe get a little bit of break after the first 9 and go in, regroup, kind of figure out what direction you're going to go, what adjustments you need to make, and go get to after the back 9. Is that how you guys do it?
Yeah, kind of. It's one of those of if you kind of play well on the front 9, you just kind of look to keep doing the things that you're doing, and you know, if you feel like you've played well but not necessarily got the scoring, it's just one of those of just being consistent and just keeping the faith that where you are is where you're supposed to be, and that you're doing everything that you can to score as well as you can. So it's one of those, I think, with the Lady Lancers here, they just need to keep faith, and they've done a lot of things well, but also those things that they can manage, just manage a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree. They had a lot of bright spots there, and, you know, really the only negative things we could even say were kind of down the stretch there, those last 4 or 5 points that, you know, were tough, and we even had some good rallies in there. We just couldn't finish.
Maybe focusing a little bit more on staying in system and maybe just not giving up as many of those unforced errors as maybe Coach Hamilton would have wanted to see. I think we've given up a few service errors already this game, but it's one of those that it's been a very prominent loss of point almost for EWC throughout the last 3 games that we've commentated on. They've lost a lot of points through service errors, but it's one of those, I think, speaking to Coach Hamilton, he's almost okay with that at times because he wants them to be at it and he wants them to be attacking off of the serve.
Oh, absolutely. This is the resiliency of our girls here. You know, be able to move on, played well, take those things and move on to the next game. And I agree with you. You know, the serving, you know, Coach Hamilton gives them a lot of freedom to do what they want with the serve and go after certain girls and, you know, hit it the way that you want to. If you want to hit a floater, if you want to go after a line, obviously he allows the girls to do that.
And we're looking like we are ready to get this second set pretty much underway here. And just looking at some of the stats from the first set, one of the things that really shouts out to me is number 11, Addison Rollins. 4 total attempts and 2 kills, a nice little kill percentage there of 0.5. And we are ready to get underway here. Number 9 for LCCC in Leah Susoy. And one thing, Coach Engel, looking at the roster that I kind of did see quite a noticeable difference is the amount of internationals that LCCC have recruited for this year. As the first point here does go to LCCC.
Yeah, it does look like they got a handful of international kids. You know, it's interesting. Every coach has kind of got their little spot that they like to go to or people that they like to work with and be able to pull girls out of certain areas or men's basketball or golfers. So
the set from Hayden and the hit from Rollins. It just looked like a bit of an awkward one, that one for Addison Rollins to try and get around to, but she did really well nonetheless. And Cantrell there just not quite getting everything on that hit, but doing well enough to get it over the net. That's going to be very close to the net, and unfortunately for Osmera, that's one of the things that she's shown that at the moment she's doing a little bit too often, is just getting that set a little bit, that dig, sorry, a little bit too close to the net, but nevertheless, they're tough hits to try and get.
You know, it's a tough one to get to when the ball comes off the net like that. I mean, you really got to get low and get up front to play that one.
Oh, and that's a fantastic kill there from Annika Cantrell. Did really well to get up and over that one, and that's an important point for the Lady Lancers to get.
You know, that was really well executed. They had gone with a slide play before that and didn't work out. Now they brought Annika back to the middle and really caught LCCC off guard. They had nobody there.
Una Stepic there with a good serve, just dipping there at the end, and that is way too powerful for LCCC. Number 18 there, Sela Yildiz, just getting a little bit too excited over that one.
Oh, that was a really good set. Put her in a great spot, and she just really tried to hammer it. It was just a little bit too much.
Serve there from Una Stepic. Nice, powerful to the back court. The dummy there, and that's a fantastic play from LCCC. The dummy there, really catching EWC off guard, and just allowed number 2 just to tip it over the net and just have enough.
You know, she went right down the net with it. Just, you know, our girls were looking for a hit. They were looking for something right in front of her, and she just went the opposite direction with it.
Serve coming in from LCCC, and awkward dig there for Olive Osmer, and just since the first couple of points in this set, it's just seemed like a bit of an awkward one for Olive.
You know, it's one of those things right now. You can see the scouting report. They are going to go after Olive, and they're going to hit a lot of balls to her. She's going to have to come through. It's like you struggle at third base to pick up a bunt. They're going to keep bunting at you. So we know Olive can do this, and she's going to come through here soon.
Number 11, Savannah Cummings, to serve again for LCCC. Oh, and Hayhinen did really well to keep that one out of the net. It's going to be the hit down, and it's a good dig from Hayhinen. The set from Osmera, and the hit there from Huntsman. Just got a little bit too much side spin on it almost, and just taking it out of play.
Yeah, it looked like Anne-Marie was trying to go down the line, which was a really good play, and just couldn't get it down. Wasn't out by much, but you know, I think that's a good strategy for us moving forward.
LCCC Golden Eagles leading your Lady Lancers 5-2. It's a good dig there from Huntsman, and again it's just lack of communication there, just giving up a bit of an easy point for LCCC there.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Girls have got to communicate. You know, that's one of the fundamentals of just about every sport, is you got to have that communication with your teammates.
Now LCCC here getting ready to serve back in. Coach Hamilton checking out Osmera for the time being, and Rachel Macy coming in, digging that ball just slightly again too close to the net, and just tipped over again by LCCC, and going to be an early timeout called here by George Hamilton. Well, Coach Engel, just a little bit of a slower start to this second set for your Lady Lancers, but overall, how can they bounce back from this?
You know, they're just going to have to stay together, and you know, it just goes back to those fundamentals of communication. You know, we talked about it before. You know, a quiet team is either scared, selfish, or both. And then you got the other side of it. You know, talk before to prepare, talk during to execute, and talk after to adjust. And right now, our girls need to adjust and come back out. It's 5 points, not the end of the world. Let's just get in system here, and let's get a good spike, and let's get a side out.
Just a minor mountain now for the Lady Lancers to climb. But nevertheless, they've been showing all game that they can get themselves together, and that they can, when they're in system, Coach Engel, that they're more than capable of taking the fight to LCCC here.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like we got to change at libero here.
Yeah, Rachel Macy has checked in for Olive Osmera.
We can see the signal coming from the LCCC coach, so let's see if they go right back at our libero.
And over to central backcourt, and Coach Engel, you were correct in that one, but Anne-Marie Huntsman there with a fantastic hit down and kills the ball. That was fantastic.
Absolutely. Good to win that ATO, get Atlanta back in the game. We're serving, so let's see if we can string a few together here.
Certainly looked like there the ladies just managed to get themselves composed after the timeout and brought back their composure a little bit. And the set here coming in from LCCC. Tipped, just taking it away from Stepic a little bit, but she did well to recover that. Huntsman doing really well to make it difficult for LCCC. It's a good dig there from Macy. The hit down from Cantrell, not getting quite everything on it. That's a good dig though by Huntsman. And it's just over the net, and it is going to be another point for your Lady Lancers. And that was a well-contested point again, Coach.
It was. Both groups stayed in system there, and then just at the end there with that sort of awkward ball right at the net, is just Atlanta's presence. Just LCCC wasn't allowed to do much with it.
That's a good serve there from Rachel Macy. LCCC had to deal with it, and they did very well.
Yeah, that quick hitter in the middle, you know, we didn't see it coming, and they got to us.
The Lady Lancers have come out of this timeout and have certainly looked more in shape and in a much better spot than they were. The scoreboard not really important for the Lady Lancers right now. They just need to take each point at one time, and when you get unforced errors given up like that by LCCC, that's going to help your cause.
No, absolutely. And we were down, I think we were down 8-3. We've gained a couple points now, so 8-5, back down to 3, cut it to 2, and it's a whole different ball game.
Lola Hughes and Brittany Huff checking back into the game for Clara Hayhinen and Annika Cantrell. Coach, that seems to be one of the changes that Coach Hamilton likes to make quite a lot. He likes to sub out his setter and one of his outside hitters quite a lot.
I think he's just finding for a rotation that's going to work for him.
And that was a good tip over there by Alana Asante just to kill the point off for the Lancers. And he was saying the fact that if you manage to get this lead down to 2 points, it's a different ball game, and well, the Lady Lancers have done just that. They've reacted really well coming out of that timeout, and that's a dipping ball there, and that was trouble for LCCC to try and deal with. Lady Lancers just need to get themselves back into system here just to prepare for this hit incoming from LCCC, and given in by the line judge, and LCCC there just capitalising on a bit of mania.
It was we got out of system. We were good to get the ball back over. They were prepared, and they got that little slide on the right side and came cross court with it.
Serve coming in, dug up by Stepich, the set by Hughes. The hit by Huntsman is blocked. It does seem like sometimes when that set is just not quite optimal, or the setter's just having to make a little bit more effort, LCCC are doing a really good job of reading what our hitters are going to do, and typically they've just tried to thwack it straight to the back of the court.
Well, they're doing a good job capitalizing. Looks like their angles are good at the net.
Set from Hughes, tip over from Asante, and that's an awkward one for Keeney Domingo to deal with, and it does give the point back to the Lancers.
Yeah, Lana in the middle of the court makes such a difference. She can tip the ball, she can hit the ball. Just her presence there is going to make a difference in the game.
Huntsman with a great serve there to get the ace. And that looked like a little bit of miscommunication there between number 12, Vela Lopez, and number 1, Keeney Domingo for LCCC. But
what was it? Just split them, and they looked at each other, and nobody went anywhere.
Emery Huntsman, a similar serve again, and it's another mishap between LCCC.
Yeah, the interesting part was, right before that serve, the coach made an adjustment, so they moved somebody over there. They moved their libero right into the middle and somebody behind her, and in that gap, and still they had difficulty communicating, and what a perfect serve.
And that's a couple of important points there for the Lady Lancers to get back. Emery Huntsman adding 2 aces to her tally. And so far, coming out of the first timeout that was called by George Hamilton, I feel like the Lady Lancers have really breathed some new life into their play.
They have. They've made a couple of adjustments out there, and now they're just, the things that we had going wrong, now LCCC has those going wrong. They're struggling with their communication a little bit, and we're putting the ball in tough places. And
certainly coming out of this timeout, the Lady Lancers looking with a lot more smiles on their face, a lot more happiness than the LCCC girls, but nevertheless we are set to get underway here. Emery Huntsman with another serve, another dipping serve, and it's another one that's caused all sorts of issues for LCCC, but doing well to recover from them. The tip over from Stepich. The deep court hit there by number 12, and it's just taken a lot of tape there, and it's really caused some issues for our girls.
It's always tough. They bring a girl from the back like that. She's got to jump from behind that 10-foot line, and it's a really good set for her, and she did catch a lot of tape and just dropped the ball over.
Score sitting at 9-11. The set there for Asante. The tip over just not quite enough that time. And the tip there from Brynley Huff.
It wasn't a great set, but they caught us at the net, and Brynley just couldn't get enough of the ball to push back.
Good dig there by Rachel Macy. The hit from Huff blocked, and it's up for Stepich, and that is going to be enough to get the tip. And 2 hits there that they went again full power on, but that one worked out that time.
Well, it was really good. I think LCCC probably got a little bit too far to the middle, and Una took advantage of it, hit it off the backside of the block, and really nice job by her.
And Asante, that is a That's a long serve, and that's going to give the point back to LCCC.
Well, Atlanta's got to find, that green area in between, right?
And she is checked out for number 23, Rachel Macy. Schuers to serve it in. It was awkward for Huntsman, but EWC doing well to just get it back over the net. Oh, and the set there wasn't enough for Susoi and really caused some issues for the hitter there, and kind of giving an easy point back to the Lancers.
Another one of those unforced errors, a little bit of a mistimed set, mistimed jump, and LCCC just couldn't get the ball over. But since Rachel Macy's come in, she's played really well. It's good to see.
Clara Hayhinen checking back in and up to serve here. Good serve to back right court, and Cantrell getting some on it and then forcing Hayhinen to go towards the table. But overall, both teams looked for a moment to be out of system, but LCCC just doing slightly better just to get back into system.
Yeah, we just couldn't handle that. We had two girls there, and it was kind of that awkward spot where they couldn't get both hands on it, and they're both sticking one hand out, hoping that we can just knock the ball up in the air.
It's a 11-14 lead for the Golden Eagles as we come into the midway point of this second set. Susoi to serve the set from Hayhinen. The hit down from Cantrell, and it's enough. It wasn't powerful, but it was just enough to get the point, and that's it's an important point for the Lancers to stop any momentum. And again, we've kind of just defaulted into a bit of a you have a point, I'll take a point.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of that back and forth here.
Stepich's serve causing problems again for LCCC there. It was just a bit of an awkward dig, and that looked in, and that's a good call, I think, by the line judge there.
It's kind of interesting. Everybody's got a different angle. I looked at that one and I thought for sure that was out. Absolutely no question. But you look at Coach Hamilton's reaction and your reaction, and nobody even second guessed it. So obviously that was the right call.
Always a difficult one for the line judges when the ball's moving that fast, and just a bit of an awkward dig there again for Rachel Macy, and just caused some problems there for Cantrell.
Yeah, obviously we can see LCCC's game plan here is that they know Ladonya's out, and they're going to go after our liberos, and just about every serve goes in the same place, and we just have to be able to handle it.
And number 11, Savannah Cummings, has really shown that she's going to cause a problem with those serves, and I tell you what, Rachel Macy doing a fantastic job to dig that ball up and to really throw LCCC off there. It seemed for a minute that LCCC celebrated a little bit too early.
They did. That was just a great play by Rachel to just have quick hands, pop the ball back up in the air, and our girls were able to finish. Wasn't perfectly staying back in system, but it was pretty close.
Well, I think LCCC showing a little bit of complacency with that hit. They thought for sure that had got them the point.
Yeah, they did. They were ready to celebrate for sure.
And Stepich hitting to backcourt. The set from LCCC, awkward again. Just kind of touched over again by Asante. And that's a really good read there by number 2, Adriana Deming.
Yeah, I think our girls need to understand, especially if you're in the back row, you're a DS here, with Alana at the net. LCCC's probably seen enough of her that they don't want to get blocked anymore. So anytime they see her in front, they're probably going to try to tip the ball.
Does certainly seem like the Lady Lancers right now are prioritising a lot of the net and backcourt rather than that kind of subsection in the middle, which, Amory Huntsman's done a very good job there of exploiting that for EWC, but it's one thing that LCCC just seem just as intent on utilising.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams have adjusted just to the net play because both teams have played well up there, so now you see a lot more tips.
Ola Hughes there causing some issues there for Cummings, but the hit coming in, and Hughes doing well to counter that. And just the tip there is going to take it out. And another point for LCCC, taking this game to 18-14.
Yeah, that was a situation where you had the right 2 girls up front to block, and I think LCCC just took something off the hit and got the outside of our hands and went out of bounds.
Another awkward one for Rachel Macy. Lola Hughes doing well to get it back to one of our girls there, and Lola Hughes digging that really well. The set from Rachel Macy and the hit for Brynley Huff, and I think the point's been given there for LCCC.
Yeah, they're trying to get 2 hits off the set, but I think they called it on the hit.
The dig from Rachel Macy, the set by Hughes, and the hit from Asante just a little bit wide of the mark.
Yeah, our girls just need to regroup again. They've done this before, so we'll take a timeout, regroup, and hopefully we can come back and make a game of this.
George Hamilton, the coach, taking the timeout here. EWC just need to find something in this second set to stop LCCC from taking a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, we do. We need to find something that we can kind of focus on. You know, a place where we're going to hit the ball, whether, you know, they're struggling down the line, across court, you know, on the back row. You know, we got them a few times in the back row. I don't know if our girls will go back to that or not. You know, sometimes there's a girl back there, maybe they look at the receiving percentages of the girls and a certain girl that they really need to go after. Just hit it there and just give yourself percentually just a better chance at getting a point.
Well, coming into this tail end of this second set, just looking at some of the stats here, and one notable thing really, Coach Engel, that I'm certainly seeing in this is the amount of errors from both teams. From the first set, Laramie had 7 attacking errors, which is very similar to EWC, but the one main one that I'm seeing here is service errors. Laramie County had 0 and we had 4.
Yeah, yep, on 4 unforced errors, and you think about it, you lose 25-20, and you know it's 4 times that you just didn't get to play the ball.
And the point after the timeout there going to LCCC, and a little bit of a miscommunication there again by Rachel Macy and Lola Hughes.
Yeah, it's just kind of hitting an awkward spot where, you know, she was trying to get it off her hands and happened to hit her in the shoulder.
Yeah, it's a good dig there. Alana Asante having to set. Savannah Cummings doing really well to get to that ball, and LCCC just going to prioritise getting this over, and that actually was in a really awkward spot for Una Stepic. EWC doing well to recover, and that's going to be long, and that's going to be a point for EWC, and that's an important point for the Lancers to get, and hopefully they can kind of use this just to push on and put some more pressure on L-Trip.
Interesting to see where the serve goes here, and you know where we're prioritizing putting it, and what we think is a difficult return for them.
Huntsman going down the line, causing all sorts of problems for LCCC. They're just going to have to get this back over. The set from Hughes was a bit awkward there for Asante, but Asante doing well to adapt. Huntsman digging it. The set from Hughes. The hit from Stepic up in the air. Hit back towards the net for LCCC. Lola Hughes doing a fantastic job again to dig the ball. And the touch over from Schwartz just catching EWC really off guard.
Yeah, it was just really good awareness by their setter. They had a chance. You know, we thought they were back in system. They were going to set and spike, but you know, she just tipped it over into an empty spot.
22-15. As number 8, Beatrice Nani, getting ready here to serve the ball in. Brittany Huff with the hit down, and that was too powerful for Adriana Deming to deal with, and overall just a good point for the Lancers.
It was, you know, 22-16. You know, let's see if we can just pick off a few of them here. Yeah, this game gets back to 22-20, and they start getting a little nervous about it.
Asante up to serve for the Lady Lancers. The set here, kind of to mid-court. Asante is having to set. Huff with the hit over. EWC needs to deal with this, and LCCC doing really well there to regain the momentum that they were building.
Yeah, they did a nice job. Stayed in system, brought it cross court, and you know, tough one for Alana to handle.
Alison Rollins there, just checking back into the game for Alana Asante. Set from Hughes, the hit by Stepic is nigh on perfect, and it's going to be another point for the Lancers, just trying to echo away at that lead.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Una's had a lot of opportunities here in the second game. And
that typical substitution of Lola Hughes and Brittany Huff checking out for Clara Hayhinen and Annika Cantrell. Hayhinen up to serve. The set and the hit coming in, and Clara Hayhinen trying to keep it up in the air, and unfortunately Huntsman just not being able to get there, and it is going to be 1 point from the set for L Trip.
Yeah, it was one of those clever things by LCCC. They brought a girl around on the slide, and I think our girls reacted to it, then they went the other way with the set.
Leah Susoy up to serve. She's going to do a floater, and unfortunately, unlike what we saw from Una Stepic earlier, not quite able to get that.
Now she came up a little bit short. She was really trying to drop it in there.
Una Stepic up to serve. Bit of an awkward one there for Susoy to deal with, but she did well. Macy doing well to dig up the ball. Huntman's hit, successfully blocked. And that is going to be a tip Gould on EWC, and that's going to give L Trip the final point of the set. L Trip win that 25-18, and well, Coach Belengo, I think that one was a bit of a slower set for the Lady Lancers, but nonetheless it was promising signs at times.
You know, our girls just need to continue to battle through. We've talked about it before. They've got to persevere here. It wasn't a great game for us. You know, we struggled to get into system. We struggled with their serve, and that just put us behind the 8 ball.
Join back with us in a minute.
Charging into your future as a Lancer is about meaningful relationships, learning at the crossroads of history and innovation, championing one another's success, and empowering every student to achieve their dreams. We are a community that knows one another by name, offers the quality education needed to get the most out of life, and the friendships that support us throughout the journey. We hold tight to a legacy of pioneering, knowing that by honoring our values, we can charge into our futures together and become the purpose-minded people that change the world. Becoming a Lancer is about more than academics. It's about discovering your passion and feeling at home.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed the little promo break that we had, and Coach Engel just coming into this third set. How important is this going to be for our Lady Lancers to get back?
You know, you just want to get off to a good start here. You know, get a side out, win a point, get a good couple serves, and you know, start to build some momentum. You know, if they can get up 3-1, 4-1, 5-2, that type of thing, and just kind of build from there and just go. And you know, they need to find their presence at the net again. Need to do a better job with returning serves. And the girls will be just fine. You know, Coach Hamilton will give them some good instruction. You know, you can see LaDanya over there talking to them, and you know.
And that's one thing that actually I've noticed quite a lot of when girls are being checked out. A lot of the time they're going behind the bench and they're just going to talk to Vladana about kind of the game, and she's giving some good pointers to them as to what they can do to kind of change this game. And I think that's such an integral part of her role, especially in this team, and something that I know that Coach Hamilton is very complimentary of is the fact that he almost feels like he's got an assistant playing coach almost.
Yeah, absolutely. She does such a great job, and you know, she's not over there sulking because she's hurt. She's over there talking to the girls. She's helping out. She's coaching, and you know, that just means the world to everybody.
And as we get set here to get this third set underway, again, just a disappointing last set for the Lady Lancers, but they're going to be trying everything they can to get this game back within their grasp, and LCCC are going to be up for it, only being one set away from completing the game. But we've seen it numerous times before where these girls have been able to get back and been able to recover and take it to the fifth set. So we're hoping for the same here, as JD Critchfield is checked into the game for the first time tonight, as well as Savannah Kirkbride.
You know, a lot of opportunity here for our girls.
Critchfield to serve. It's a good serve to backcourt. And the block there by Una Stepic, just not quite enough and just taking it away from the rest of the girls. But overall, as a first first point goes in this set, I think LCCC are going to be pretty happy to win that one.
Yeah, each one of our girls stay together here, just 1 point at a time.
It's going to be number 11, Savannah Cummings, to serve for LCCC. She's been a constant thorn in the side of EWC so far tonight, and that's another block by number 9, Leah Susoy, or number 8, sorry, Beatrice Nani.
Yeah, it was a really good dig, really good set. I put it right at the net, and LCCC just did a good job of getting hands there.
Olive Osmera back as libero for EWC. It's going to be interesting to see how LCCC's tactics end up changing as the set coming in. The hit down is powerful, but Huntsman is equal to it and just not quite enough to get it over the net, and it's going to be a 3-0 start for LCCC.
Yeah, it was a really tough dig. Thing almost went to the ceiling and ended up that awkward spot where it's coming down right at the net and it's hard to do anything with it.
Ball coming in, set by Huntsman. And the hit from Cantrell is too far. Just one of those instances where EWC just need to regain their composure and just stick in with it. As Cummings gets set to serve again, trying to float one in, and Stepic there just miss-hitting the hit, but still managing to get it over comfortably. The set from Critchfield, the tip over from Stepic. LCCC bodies are flying everywhere. The set from Critchfield, the hit down from Cantrell, given us out. And that looked in, certainly from my perspective. That looked right on that corner.
It did, and it looked like we had one line judge that put a flag up and one that put a flag down, but it looks like we're just going to continue.
That's a bit of misfortune there for the Lady Lancers, but nevertheless they just need to keep going and be persistent with their system, and that was tipped that time, and I was going to say even so it looked in anyway.
It did, and so it's good to see our girls get that point, and let's battle back. Just like we've talked about before with golf, if you hit one in the trees, you're going to have to hit it out and keep moving forward.
Something that I am all too familiar with, unfortunately. And Una Stepic there getting the ace, and that's a really good response there to even winning the point, not getting complacent, but just making sure that you keep the pressure on LCCC there.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to struggle with service here. Let's keep hitting the ball to her.
Oh, powerful one there, and it's just clipped the top of the net. And just put into an awkward position there for Una Stepic. Not a lot that she could have done about where that was placed, and that was just smart from LCCC. As we are getting set with number 2, Adriana Deming for LCCC. The set from Huntsman. The dig from Huntsman and the set from Critchfield, and then the hit again from Huntsman was fantastic and enough to get the point.
Yeah, what a great set. I mean, she just put it exactly where it needed to be, and she was able to get on top of it and just crush that.
And it's going to be Olive Osmera. Her serving has actually been very good so far in this game, and she continues that run, and she gets the ace, and that's going to be a nice confidence boost for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Need her to just keep doing that, put it in a tough spot for them, and we'll keep moving forward.
And considering the fact that the Lady Lancers went down 5-0 at the beginning of this set, and they have now got it back to 4-6, it's been a good recovery, and it's a good show of resilience. As Cantrell hits that and makes it difficult for the LCCC players to regain themselves, as Critchfield sets and denied by number 8 Beatrice Nani, and another one of those instances where LCCC showing how good they are around the net.
Yeah, Annika she wasn't in a good spot to spike it. She was going to try to push the ball somewhere, and it looked like she was going to try to do it nice and easy. She probably should have gone for a corner there.
And that is out, and that's, I think, the first service error that they might have had today. LCCC. Oh no, they had 2 last set.
Right.
but one of very few that we've seen from them today.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Annika did a really good job coming back there, watching the ball down the line, and as close as it was, she was able to let it go.
Lola Hughes and LCCC looking very much in. Oh, that was a confusing call from the line judge. She called it as out. I thought for a second that the point was given to us, but it wasn't. It was a tip.
You know, yeah, we did a really good job with the block, but when it went back over the net, it was just a little bit out of bounds.
One of those. It's quite difficult to tell sometimes with, you know, as you said earlier, you instantly look to the line judge to see what the call is, and sometimes if they don't give a clear call, it's quite confusing.
Right, and then your second glance is obviously at the coaches and kind of see how the coaches react, because, you know, those guys have seen a lot of volleyball in their life, and they got a pretty good idea of those angles.
And it's a good serve from Huntsman there, but LCCC equal to it, and there we go. There, Amory Huntsman doing everything she could to try and keep it up, and it just looked a little bit panic stations for EWC. But nevertheless, there's only 9-6 down, and as we said at the beginning of this set, having been 5-0 down, it's a very good recovery from them so far, showing good resilience and good character to get back into this. And Stepic hits the ball down, and I thought for a moment that Savannah Cummings was going to get yet another save, but unfortunately I don't think she was going to be very willing to dive into the stands.
No, you know, she made a really good effort to get there, but, you know, it's a tough spot. You know, we don't see anybody get hurt, and she was going to have to maybe go head first into the stands.
Yes, and we wouldn't want to see anyone do that.
No, after seeing LaDanya run into the wall and get 11 stitches in her knee, we don't need any more of that.
And there we are, just an unforced error from LCCC, and one of those, as we've already commented on quite a bit, not one that we see often from LCCC. They've been fairly consistent so far tonight, but every now and then just having those errors just eke into their game.
They have, and it seems like it's been on the service returns there. They've struggled with at times, and, you know, giving us a little bit of an advantage.
It's a great dig there from Lola Hughes, and unfortunately just a bit of hesitation, I think, from everyone on the set there. I think Asante was very firm to kind of call for it, and then ended up just accidentally putting it over the net.
You know, she just ended up in a really tough spot, but give her, you know, a lot of kudos for getting to that ball.
Yeah, for sure. And the dig there from Osmer, the set by Hughes, just tipped over by Brindley Huff. LCCC equal to it. Set from Hughes again, the hit from Stepic. LCCC doing everything they can to be equal to these. Hit down by EWC, and that was a very well contested point. And I think at the end of the day, I think that was a very good hit down by Brindley Huff, and very well deserved.
Oh, they did well. Got it in a good place. They caught LCCC out of position, and, you know, just went cross court with it.
It's going to be JD Critchfield up to serve for the Lancers. Well, I think that might have been going out, and really the first error that I've seen from Savannah Cummings tonight.
You know,
she's been very good so far.
She has, and I think sometimes with those serves that were going to be out or close to the line, you know, she probably didn't want to hit that, but she was already committed to it, and I think she just lost her focus.
And all of a sudden, this has actually become a tight game here for the Lady Lancers, and Critchfield doing very well to get on that ball, and tipped over there by LCCC, and just catching our girls off guard. And I think the Lancers can't really be too unhappy with that, because that was just a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, just you know, where she was able to put it just got us in a tough spot, and, you know, we just couldn't get our hands on it.
I'd say it was a very good tip over by LCCC. I think to get that much power on that tip was very good, and Osmer doing very well to get it back over the net, and it's going to be an error by Beatrice Nanny to put it into the net, and that's a point that I think might give the Lancers a little bit of confidence there, just kind of on the back foot, and certainly looking like they might have lost the point, but just an unforced error there from LCCC.
Yep.
Oh, and the block coming in there as well from Savannah Kirkbride, making life difficult for LCCC as Cantrell up to hit, and it is down, and it's killed. And for the first time in this set, the Lancers take the lead.
Just like what you were talking about. You know, we had kind of an awkward point there. It didn't look like we had any chance of getting that point. And all of Osmero was able to get to a ball that's far out of bounds, hit it over. It looks like LCCC is just going to smash it back in our face. and they just mishit it into the net, and that's really led to our lead here.
And Coach Zach Schaefer deciding to take the time out there, and I think that was needed for Coach, because his team looked like they were a little bit in all sorts.
Yeah, and, Coach Schaefer does a really good job with them. This is the team that we had to beat last year in the regional finals to get to the national tournament, and being down at the scorers table and listening to him, how he talks to his girls and the strategy and what have you, just seems to be very matter of fact and very knowledgeable about the game. So definitely runs a good program up there.
The Lady Lancers very quick out of that timeout. Again, it would just be one of those scenarios, I imagine, of Coach Hamilton being relatively happy with how he's seen his girls react to going down early in this set, and just kind of saying, keep doing what you're doing and stay patient.
I agree with you 100%. I'm sure Coach Hamilton didn't want anything to do with that time other than say the girls say, great job, keep moving forward. So here we go with the ATO. Hopefully we can come out on the right end of it.
The Lady Lancers leading 12 points to 11. We're ready to get going here with a serve from Una Stepic. Coming in, and she's tried another one, little dink over the net, and that's exactly what you were just talking about, Coach, of just getting that first point after the timeout, and that's a fantastic point to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Good strategy. I wonder if that came from Coach Hamilton, kind of telling Una where to put the ball, and, what a great serve.
Una's serving has been remarkably good tonight so far. And the hit there, and that's just brash from LCCC, just getting a little bit too much on it, and all of a sudden Lady Lancers opening up a 3-point lead.
Yeah, Una's been outstanding with the serve tonight.
She'll be hoping to keep that streak going for her serves. And that's just a good hit down by LCCC, and the block there just not quite being able to get in the way.
They just couldn't get enough on it, and then it put Una in a tough spot trying to reach out with one arm.
It must be said, Una Stepic here, after the last set, was only 2 aces for 9 attempts, but no service errors at all, which kind of just really gives a testament to how well she served the ball tonight, and that was a really good recovery there from LCCC's number 2. Another good dig by Savannah Cummings. The denial from Cantrell, and now hitting down, and I feel like that's a very well-deserved point for EWC there. I think they constantly put LCCC on the back foot, and they really took advantage there.
They did. They're really aggressive, and give Annika credit. The second time that she's gone down the line and been successful.
This Lady Lancers team looking with all the confidence, certainly after coming out of that timeout. The dig from Asante, set from Critchfield. The hit from Huntsman's going to be enough, and the block not doing enough to get it back over.
Yeah, she was just able to push that one through, kind of caught LCCC right at the net, and it rolled down.
Fantastic spell for EWC here. As Olive Osmera, a lovely serve again to back court, and that's really making the setter have some problems. And now Critchfield tipped over by Asante. It's going to be another set for from Critchfield, a little bit too far back for Huntsman. Now just needing to get themselves recomposed. And the touch over by Cantrell, and that's fantastic really to see that from the girls. I think to keep their composure there and to get that point, that's a massive point to get.
Yeah, a little bit of resiliency there. A couple of sets that were a little bit off, and we couldn't do a whole lot with them, but we didn't try to do too much, and that was probably the key.
Olive Osmera going to be up to serve again. Another powerful serve to back court. That's another shout out as well. I think Olive Osmera has had a few reception errors so far tonight, but overall she's been serving the ball really well.
Yeah, she has, and seems like the last at least 2 or 3 serves that she's had has really got them out of system. They were not able to handle them cleanly.
She struggled a little bit in that second set, and really kind of that's where her errors came in. But I feel like in the first and third set she's looked so comfortable in that libero role, and that's a fantastic hit down by Amory Huntsman.
Yeah, that's just textbook there, wasn't it?
That's exactly what EWC would have wanted after conceding the point. It's an 18-13 lead for the Lady Lancers, and I mean, Coach Engel, you were talking in one of the early games, I think it was against the Casper Thunderbirds, about that golden 20 number, and well, the Lady Lancers are remarkably close to that so far, and that serve just a little bit wayward.
Yeah, a little float on it too much, just floated out of bounds. But, you know, you always wonder, can we just get to 21st here and then kind of let the chips fall where they may? So 18-14, let's get a side out, and we're 1 point closer.
The serve in from Nani. The call from out there from Una Stepic, but Osman were just trying to keep it up and play anyway, and the hit going into the antenna, and it's now an 18-15 game.
Yeah, you know, that was a really tough serve. You know, it's one of those, is it going to be in, is it going to be out? And, you know, we decided to play it and just put us in a tough spot.
Yeah, well, LCCC had that early, didn't they, with Savannah Cummings. Just kind of a couple of calls of out, and she decided to play it and gave us the point. It's one of those of it's all about kind of, you either leave it and it goes out and it was a very good judgment call, or you leave it and it just touches in and then all of a sudden it was an avoidable error.
Right, absolutely. You know, it's one of those things, you know, you got to make a decision, you got to live with it. And, you know, that's the part about playing without hesitation.
It's another fantastic kill there from Anne-Marie Huntsman, and she's going to be up to serve next and 1 point away from that all-important 20 number. The set there from LCCC, and Asante denies.
Yeah, we've kind of been missing her presence since the first game, so it's good to see that come back and have her in the middle and have her cause some problems there.
20-15 here. And I must say, I think this has certainly been the best set at the moment from the Lady Lancers. They've looked very confident. They've carried themselves with so much more resilience and a lot more determination.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
And Brittany Huff there, and it's a lovely kill. Savannah Cummings trying to do everything she could, but again, just not quite being able to do enough. And it's going to be another timeout here by Zach Schaefer. And coach, we've got a 6-point lead with 4 points left to see out the set. How do you see this set ending out?
You know, hopefully coming up here with a good serve, put us in a good spot. If we can get them out of system on the serve and have a big return, that'd be probably the way that we want to go. You know, it's like every point we get closer to 25. I know it sounds simple, but, you know, it just puts them on their heels. You know, they've got a 2-0 lead. They're starting to think, well, we'll get them in the next game. As soon as they start to think that, we just need to finish them off.
And again, the Lady Lance is very quick out the timeout again. Really feel like there's not been a lot to say about this set for the Lady Lance other than keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think probably the biggest thing is just our returns. We're doing a great job on the service returns now, and we're staying in system, and that's causing problems for LCCC.
I think one of the issues that LCCC has certainly faced so far are the serves from EWC. Certainly less service errors so far this set, as LCCC get the point after the timeout, and that is not the way that EWC would have wanted to get going, but it's the whole thing of staying in there and staying resilient, and something that they've done very well so far this set.
Yeah, that was positive for us. So it looks like we were in the right places, and they almost got a little bit lucky on that hit.
And set there from Q. She does remarkably well to get that back to Stepic.
Yeah, really good set to keep us in system.
Well, that was a bit awkward there for Lola Hughes. Brittany Huff doing a really good job there of just making sure she got the ball back over the net. And another great recovery from EWC.
Yeah, nice job scrambling by our girls. Now we're back in system.
Another chance to capitalise, and they do. That's a fantastic point for the Lancers to get. Just as you said there, just got out of system, but very quickly managed to get back in it.
Right, you know, they forced a scramble there, and that could have gone the wrong way for them very quickly, but they stayed with it, got the ball back over, and then they were back in system.
It's going to be Alana Asante here, 3 points from the set. Asante, another powerful backcourt serve, and oh, that was a fantastic hit down by LCCC.
Yeah, that little quick set in the middle, and we definitely were not ready for that. Didn't see it coming. They haven't done it for a while, and you know, it's well executed by them.
5-point lead coming into the tail end of this third set. Susoy to serve the dig from Huntsman. And Brittany Huff there on. Savannah Cummings doing so well to keep the ball off the ground. And LCCC really capitalising from a bit of good play there from Savannah Cummings.
Yeah, they did. She did a nice job. It looked like we were going to get the point. We were in the right spots, but the ball came off the block. She had to reach out of bounds, but did a really nice job fundamentally getting that ball back in play.
EWC here just needs to persevere, and that is going to be a rather great help to the cause. 23-18 lead as Lola Hughes and Brittany Huff are checked out for Jaylee Critchfield and Annika Cantrell. Clara Hakinen at the moment just with some stat sheets in hand, so it looks like that Jaylee Critchfield for the moment is just taking that spot for Clara. And that quick set again causing issues for EWC.
You know, we were there a little bit better, but just not enough.
And EWC there just seeming that quick set just a little bit too quick for the Lady Lancers there.
Caught us off guard again, but we were better. We were closer.
For sure. It's going to be Savannah Cummings to serve here. 4-point lead for the Lady Lancers. Huntsman doing really well. And Una Stepic hitting that way too hard for the blockers to deal with, and it's going to take the Lady Lancers within 1 point of this set. And we spoke at the beginning of this set about how important this was going to be to kind of revitalise their game, and they've certainly done that.
Una's really on her serve game. She's putting it everywhere she wants to.
The hit from Critchfield, that's a fantastic dig up by Critchfield as well. The tip over, and it's another good dig there by number 2 for LCCC. The set there from Critchfield, still up in the air. Stepic, couldn't quite get it back over the net, and that was a great showing of recovery from both teams, and I think that was one of those that the point could have gone either way.
It could have. It's one of those exciting rallies where both teams are scrambling, just trying to tip the ball, get it over the net, get back in system, and boy, we had our chances there, and LCCC made a big play.
It's going to be an ace as well for LCCC to take this to a 3-point lead, and the Lancers just need to refocus here and just get themselves into a position. There'll be a timeout here by Coach Hamilton.
Yeah, it was a really good serve. That was that floater again, and she was able to place it in between a couple of our girls, and you know, there goes a part of communication. You know, he who hesitates is lost, or so I guess in this case, she who hesitates is lost.
And I think really there, the one thing to note is that I think LCCC have tried that floater a little bit quite often so far this game, and much of it to not much prevail. I think EWC have had that floater kind of knocked down, especially from Una Stepic, and LCCC just trying to play EWC at their own game.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to guess that's on the scouting report from Coach Hamilton for the last 2 games, because you know, when we've seen it from Gillette and LCCC, our girls have been right on that one.
And Adriana Deming is going to be up to serve for LCCC. 1 point needed. Savannah Cumming doing remarkably well to keep that in, and that was a trouble for even Osmera to get, and they can't keep it up off the ground, and that is a fantastic way for the Lancers to end the set.
Yeah,
they needed that.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though they got out of system a little bit, they were able to scramble, and they still got a good set to Annika, and she's able to finish. Big game for her.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You join us after the 3rd set, where the Lady Lancers did really well in recovery. LCCC seeming to struggle a little bit with our serves, and overall the Lady Lancers having a really good 3rd set.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, that Annika Cantrell played really well. Una Stepic played really well. I thought Olive played really well. We just need to continue to do it, and that's all. Just continue to communicate, continue to stay on top of things. You can see Coach Hamilton over there giving instructions, LaDanya over there nodding their head and pointing and talking. So, I mean, a lot of excitement, I think, in that huddle for our girls.
And it must be said that the service in that third set was a lot better from the first and the second set, really, from what we saw. And Una Stepic was a very big part to play in that.
Yeah, she was huge. You know, like you said, she hasn't missed a serve yet, and she's just doing an excellent job putting the ball wherever she wants to.
So as we get ready for this fourth set, it's going to be very interesting to see how the Lady Lancers come out of this little break here. Only one service error there in that third set, and I think that was really kind of highlighting exactly what we're talking about and where we really managed to fix things.
We did, and let's just continue to do that. It's good to see from the girls, and I'm going to guess Coach Hamilton just told the girls just relax, you know, take it easy, put the ball where it needs to go, and let us play.
We are about ready to get going again here for set number 4. Mentioned it before the start of the third set. We've seen crazy things happen, and certainly they are halfway there to be getting the second, well, to tie this game up at 2 sets apiece and to take this to the 5th set. We've seen it happen a lot last year. Can the Lady Lancers do it again?
You know, that's what makes volleyball so exciting here. You know, get to go to try to get to the 5th set.
LCCC are relatively pumped up for this one. And it's going to be a fight to the end. And LCCC are going to want to get this over and done with as soon as they can. I think if they end up being forced to play a 5th set, I think they'll feel like they didn't do a very good job of closing this game out, Coach Engel.
No, I agree with you. I think you're right on top of it. So now it looks like our girls got them out of system again. Here we go.
A chance for EWC to capitalise here, and Steppage's tip I thought was going to be good, but just met very well by El Trip. That's a fantastic hit for Una Stepic. The set was just a little bit behind her, and Cantrell there, and that's a really important first point to get, and they did so well there to recover when they were put on the back foot.
You know, what a great rally by both teams. You know, both teams actually stayed in system the whole time, moved the ball well, and put the ball where it needed to be, and both teams did a good job returning the ball.
It's going to be number 9, Una Stepic, to serve again here, and that's another awkward one for LCCC to deal with. Do a fantastic job, though, of trying to make life difficult for the Lancers, and Amory Huntsman trying to appeal for a tip there, but not given by the officials, and it is going to be a tied game.
You know, it's one of those things you wish you had replay to see what that ball did hit. Maybe it just caught a little piece of the tape, but it certainly looked like it hit something.
And the floater to backcourt. Huntsman, the block there, and unfortunately there, I think Una Stepic, and when she was falling, just kind of got in the way of Olive Osmer, not intentionally, obviously, but just kind of made sure that Osmer couldn't quite get to that.
Yeah, it was one of those things she was going to have to jump over, and it was a tough spot.
EWC going to look to get going again, and it's this dig from Huntsman, the tip over from Cantrell. The hit over from LCCC, matched by EWC, and that's a fantastic hit by Annika Cantrell going back over the net.
Yeah, she seems to be having just a really good match here, and you know, that was very intentional when she went up there and came across the net with it instead of going down the line, but she's really varying where she's putting the ball.
Olive Osmer up to serve, another member whose serves have been fantastic all game long. I feel like there, I think EWC did very well to get up for the block. Just kind of got a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah,
I think there was a bit of deliberation there. I think originally the umpire called for EWC point, but it was obviously an LCCC point.
Yeah, she a little confused about which direction her arm was going there.
Amory Huntsman, the block got just about good enough, and LCCC keep that off, and that's a fantastic dig from Osmera to keep that ball alive, and Cantrell denies Sasoy, and that is a fantastic point for the Lady Lancers to get, and I think that was a really important one.
Yeah, let's just maintain the momentum right now. Girls are moving well, they're covering space, so it's good to see.
It's going to be Lola Hughes and Brynley Huff to check in for Clara Hayhinen and Annika Cantrell. As Hughes serves. Even fooled me. I thought she was going to set it, but just tipped it over and made sure that she got the point for L-Trip.
You know, she's done that a few times and caught us, but, you know, I'll give Olive credit. Olive was, you know, just half a second away, quarter of a second away. She was sliding in, just couldn't quite get to it, but she read it, so we're getting closer.
Very reminiscent of that's so unlucky for Una Stepic. She read that really well, but unfortunately just clipping the top of the net there. I mean, those sets from number 7, Addison Schewers, just very reminiscent of Emma Blackstar from last year for us. She very much enjoyed kind of using that little pump fake and actually ending up putting over the net. And that's a fantastic hit again by Anne-Marie Huntsman to get that point for EWC.
Yeah, Emma was a fantastic setter, always had such great hands, put the ball in great places. So that was good to see for our girls here. Get another point, stay close, and keep moving forward.
Will be number 20, Anne-Marie Huntsman to serve. The set coming in from LCCC. The hit, well dealt with by Anne-Marie Huntsman. Stepic there. Oh, that's a fantastic dig by Olive Osmera to get that ball. That was quite something. Asante really trying to pile on the pressure here on LCCC, denying the hit over, and LCCC just finding a way past the block there of Brynley Huff, but the ball, the point has been given to EWC here.
Yeah, it looks like LCCC was in the net. So, you know, when you get those tip balls that kind of go back and forth, you know, there's always a danger of making contact with the net.
I feel like there as well, they did so well to kind of keep that point alive, and Anne-Marie Huntsman there putting another ball in the net, but EWC there really for that point did so well in keeping that point alive, and especially Olive Osmera there to get that dig. And the service is going to come in from number 7, Addison Schewers for LCCC. The set from Lola Hughes, the hit from Stepic. The blockers managed to deal with it. Oh, and the block just taking it away from Anne-Marie Huntsman there.
A little bit of bad luck sometimes, you know, do a really good job blocking, but, you know, puts the next hit, you know, in a tough spot.
And that certainly seems to be one of the things that just hasn't really fallen in the way of the Lancers so far in this game, is when they do block and don't quite get enough on it to put it back over the net, they don't quite get it back into a position where it benefits them.
No, absolutely. And one of those things our girls can't look around and just say that it was bad luck. They just got to figure out and make their own luck.
And there, Una Stepic there, just putting a easy kind of ball over back into the net, and LCCC eking out a 3-point lead here.
Let's see if we can get past these unforced errors there.
And the denial from Sela Yildiz and Adriana Deming there. LCCC just gaining some momentum there.
Yeah, I think if this goes one more point, Coach Hamilton will take a timeout.
And there is the signal again from Coach Shaver. And Brynley Huff with the tip over, and it's a good dig there by LCCC to get that back into play, and that set is just too close to the net. I think the EWC girls there were kind of hoping for a call on LCCC on the net, and in fact, and exactly as you prophesised, Coach Engel, Coach Hamilton takes the timeout.
Yeah, good time for that timeout. Stop their momentum. Let's get back on track here. We're starting to struggle a little bit and kind of lost our mojo. So 10-5, not the end of the world. We can come back here.
And Una Stepic just looking again at her serve numbers. She's got 4 aces and she's had 16 total attempts, but every single one has resulted without error, and that is a real part of her game that has been a real beneficial part to this Lady Lancer side so far tonight, and hopefully she'll keep continuing to put in good serves. And even on the ones where she hasn't got aces, Coach Engel, she's put LCCC in some deep trouble.
She really has, and again, you know, when you put the ball where you want to and they know it, they start to have a little trepidation to that situation.
We're getting ready to get back underway here. Schrewers is going to be up to serve for LCCC. Huntsman to dig. The set from Hughes. Stepic, not quite doing enough to get it back into bounds, going down the line, and
It looked like it was the right spot for her to put it, just a little miscalculated.
I think our decision making there was, as you said, was very much the right one. It was just quite kind of unfortunate that it didn't quite do enough to get it back into the region of the court. As Huntsman Huff was the one to hit that one, and it was denied, and the tip there by Brindley Huff.
Yeah, it looks like LCCC has regained their mojo here, and they're feeling good about how they're moving the ball, and now they're keeping us out of system.
It's a 7-point lead here for LCCC, and it's one of those things that if the Lancers want anything from this game, they're going to have to turn this around pretty quickly.
Well, let's see if we can chip away.
Una Stepic there, hitting over the back.
And again, you look around and you hope to see a tip call, but there's nothing out there.
Certainly looked like that. Stepic getting a little bit eager and maybe getting a little bit impatient with that hit, but nonetheless the girls just need to refine a little bit of something here, and that serve seemed to catch Anne-Marie Huntsman off guard. All of a sudden LCCC have opened up a 9-point lead here over EWC.
Yeah, it looks like we're starting to struggle with our communication again. Something that was so good earlier for us.
Another good serve, and Osmer really getting too close to that net, and another net violation I think called on Lola Hughes there.
Yeah, she was just trying to figure out how to tip the ball back so that we could get a spike out of it. Maybe she would have been better served just to push the ball over. But she was doing everything she could to help the team. 5-15
lead for the LCCC Golden Eagles, and Una Stepic there doing well to keep the ball in the air, and that's good there from EWC, just keeping that composure, but they need to get back into system and deal with this, and unfortunately Sassoy just doing too much for our girls to deal with, and that Coach Hamilton's going to take another time out here.
Yeah, good call. They were took a timeout a few minutes ago. We were stuck on 5. We're still stuck on 5, and you don't want to let this one get too far away from you. So 16-5. Can we start to build back in this? We need a side out, and then we need somebody to get hot from the service.
Not quite beyond reach yet for the EWC Lancers, but it is certainly a mountain to climb, and it's one that they've seemed up for all night, especially in that third set. They responded so well to losing those first 2 sets. But they just need to find something here. They just need something to click, and all it takes is for them to get a few points on the board that maybe they feel like they shouldn't, or maybe that just kind of go their way in terms of luck, and all of a sudden this game could be back within their reach.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully our girls will regain some confidence here, and just 1 point at a time.
Sassoy serves. Osmer, that was a bit awkward for Osmer to deal with, but she did well, and again a bit of a miscommunication there by LCCC, but that's the point that the Lancers needed.
Yep, there's the ATO. So good for the girls to win that, and let's get back on the service here and see if Alana can get a few more points.
Olive Osmer there being checked out for Savannah Kirkbride. Savannah Kirkbride back in by the net. And Asante's serve here, dipping all the time, and all of a sudden a bit of confidence maybe to come about these couple of points that they've got. I mean, that's a fantastic ace from Alana Asante.
Yeah, that's what she can do. You've said it before. I mean, she is really, really good back there.
Cummings deals with that serve well. Susoy. Is Lola Hughes going to get to this? She does. Can EWC just get it back over the net? They do, and that's fantastic composure from them. They just need to get back into system now, though. And it's a good hit by LCCC. Not a lot that the Lady Lancers, I feel like, could have done about that one, Coach.
No, they really hammered it. We didn't get much on the block. Came right at Atlanta and just couldn't handle that. But let's keep battling here.
7-17. Certainly with the way that we've come out of that timeout, I think they can't let their heads drop here. The set from Hughes.
What a great set.
And the hit just a little bit too much there from Brindley Huff, and all of a sudden that lead is stretched back open to 11 points.
Yeah, I think Brindley just got a little bit too excited about it, and they really put that one on the money.
It was one of those that as soon as she hit, she kind of was pulling her face at it, and I think she knew that it was a little bit too much. Una Stepic killing the ball there into number 18 of Celia Yildiz for the Golden Eagles, and still keeping their heads in there.
Yeah, it was good to see Una power that one through.
The door is not open, but it is certainly ajar.
Absolutely.
Jaylee Critchfield now up to serve for the Lady Lancers. Serve to back court there. The quick set, and it's too much for Critchfield to deal with.
It's just reaction. We have really had trouble with that quick set. I'm almost surprised they haven't brought it a little bit more.
Certainly worked very effectively for them kind of in the past 2 sets. I mean, you look even in that 3rd set when they were trailing relatively, comfortably in terms of the EWC perspective. They brought out that a little bit frequently, and that looked like a tip there that kind of went out, but it's been given as an...
Yeah, they're going to say that LCCC didn't touch it and it just came off the tape and came back. And she's got the best angle in the house. That's why she's up on the ladder.
Exactly that, and it's given LCCC that number 20 with only 8 points on the board for the Lancers, and they really have to dig deep now and try and find anything that they can to salvage this game. And Annika Cantrell there being denied by Beatrice Nanny, and I'm just wondering, Coach, maybe these errors are just coming through a little bit of desperate times.
And sometimes girls start to look at the scoreboard, and 13 is a big number to overcome, and right now is a good time to not look at the scoreboard and just try to really play the side. This is mental toughness right now.
Savannah Cummings there just playing a little flow to the set from Critchfield, and Stepic just a little bit too far again, and it's going to be a 22-8 lead for the Golden Eagles.
Got a little frustration, I think, on our side, just a little too much power.
Savannah Cumming getting ready to serve again. And this time she goes powerful to the backcourt, but dealt really well with Amory Huntsman there. Only that tip little over, and that's a nice point for the Lancers to get, and that's a really good bit of awareness there by Amory Huntsman.
Yeah, what a great tip. Yeah, our girls have to remember, there are no 14-point kills out there, so just one at a time here. Just take it easy, relax, put the ball where it needs to go.
Oh, and that's... But as much as it was a really good use of intuition from Amory Huntsman, that was a really good use of intuition there by LCCC just to kind of touch that over and just about get the point.
Yeah, they caught us really leaning to the other side of the court and just went back against the green.
I was about to say, with the scoreboard there, I was fairly sure that we got an extra point on that, and it is 23-9. Jaylee Critchfield going back to set, and that's going to be another kill from Amory Huntsman. The block there, not quite enough, and just taking it out of bounds.
Yeah, really nice pass there. Get the ball where it needed to be, and then perfect set, and she just crushed it.
Olive Osmer now to serve in for the Lady Lancers. It's a good dig there by Jaylee Critchfield. And that's caused a lot of confusion, and maybe that's one of those points, Coach Engel, that I was talking about, that maybe EWC just needed to go their way that they feel like they probably shouldn't have got.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where the ball just hits the top of the tape and just falls down and just hard to handle.
23-11 as we get this underway again, and it's going to be into the net. It's another point for the Lancers.
Yeah, another unforced error, so again, let's not look at the scoreboard. Let's just keep serving and keep getting points.
LCCC here, just making a couple of errors in the last couple of points, and not necessarily losing their mojo, but certainly taking a little bit of a hit, and especially that one again, just unnecessarily long, and all of a sudden gone from a 23-9 game to a 13-23 game, and it's now a 10-point lead.
Yeah, and Coach Shaver's giving his girls a little bit of grief that that's 4 times in a row that they've had some really silly errors on their side. Oh,
and Olive Osmer there really getting after that one, and probably a little bit too much so takes LCCC within a point of this game.
Yeah, she's done a really good job.
She has.
And, just happened to have one get away from her there.
Only her second service error tonight, and really she has been a real force to be reckoned with in terms of serving. And Annika Cantrell just getting a little bit after it there, and that is going to seal the game for LCCC. Well, Coach Engel, a 3-1 loss again to LCCC, but overall I think throughout the game there were bright sparks from the ladies, but at the same time there were some really unforced errors.
There were some really bright spots, especially in that third game. They did a fantastic job. They were the better team, and the other three that they lost, there were a lot of unforced errors. And, like you had said before, in that third game when we won, we were really on our service game, and girls did a really good job returning serve and staying in system. So something to build on there.
And that must be said. I mean, there were, when we say that there are bright sparks in that game, certainly the service really through that third set was fantastic, and they really did well to kind of bring the game to LCCC, but just kind of got a little bit too slow of a start to that fourth set.
Yeah, absolutely. That slow start really hurt them. I mean, we got down 10, took a timeout, and wasn't too many points after that. We're taking another timeout, and just couldn't dig ourselves out of that hole.
Well, we're going to cut to a quick break here. Bill, thank you so much for your time up here in the commentary booth. We're going to give you some post-game reaction after this break.
All right, Jamie, thanks for having me.
And welcome back. You join us after a 3-1 loss to the Lady Golden Eagles of LCCC. It was a pleasure giving the game to you, but unfortunately a little bit too little too late from the Lady Lancers in that fourth set. Just really struggled to get their foot on that fourth set. They just seemed to make a few errors, and LCCC really found a groove there. It'll be a disappointing loss for the EWC Lady Lancers, but they will have to kick back very quickly as we play Western Wyoming here in Torrington. 4 home games in a very quick amount of time for the Lady Lancers. It's going to take a toll on them, but they've done very well considering. And Western Wyoming is going to be an interesting game to watch. It's one of those that Western Wyoming haven't played as well as the EWC Lady Lancers so far this year, but LCCC bringing the fight to them tonight, and I think the result was a fair one in the end. The Lady Lancers trying everything to get back, especially in that fourth set, but not quite bringing enough in the end. It was a fantastic game to watch, and it was a fantastic game to commentate and to bring to you tonight. It was as we said, it was a disappointing loss for the Eastern Wyoming Lancers. But they will have to come back. For Laramie County, it's another win for them in their search to become one of the best teams in the conference, and they're certainly showing that with now their record going to 6-1 in the conference. They will be now also be having Western Wyoming as their next game. They so happen to have Western Wyoming the day after they come to EWC. So for EWC, there was a lot of telltale performances there tonight. Most notably to think about, we had number 0 Olive Osmera having to fill in at the moment for the injured Vladina Ristic, looking more comfortable in every single game. The freshman from Torrington, Wyoming, making a few reception errors, but overall her serving was fantastic and really causing some troubles for LCCC. And certainly at times, I think that Una Stepic as well, her service it was fantastic and really cannot be understated. And join us in a little bit. We're going to try and get George Hamilton up here when he comes out from his team talk with his Lady Lancers. Join us back here in about 30 seconds.
Hi, my name is Bowden Lilliedal. I'm a sophomore at Eastern Wyoming College, majoring in pre-health sciences. I want to invite you to Eastern Wyoming College for your continued education. We have small class sizes, a family-friendly environment, and we are affordable while offering many scholarships. EWC offers so many program and career certificates, so we're sure there's something for you. Check us out online at ewc.wyo.edu or call us at 307-532-8.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are still without Coach Hamilton, but that's okay. We will just talk a little bit about what this means for the EWC Lady Lancers going forward. This loss now takes them to 3-4 in the conference, and it was a loss that really, I think, talking to Coach Hamilton before the game, he wanted to avoid. It was one of those that if they could have got a win out of today, it would have solidified their place as 4th place. Their win over Gillette on Saturday meant that they took solo 4th, but with the results tonight, and we are still yet to hear as to what the result was for Gillette tonight, but gives Gillette a chance just to become number 4th seed in the conference. I'm just seeing there, Olive Osmer has come out of the changing room. She's got a very nasty bruise on her elbow, but honestly, it's a testament to how hard she works. Something that throughout the game and throughout so far the 3 games that we've commentated on, we just see so much of. We see a lot of hard work and resilience from this team, and they're going to feel hard done by, I think, in certain aspects. I think LCCC, in certain points, did get lucky, but as well very much deserved that last set. And in that last set, I think the pressure that they just put on EWC there just really pegged the Lady Lancers back and just made it very difficult for EWC to make an impact on this game. Well, we are going to try and get some insight from 1, the coaches, and 2, maybe I'm going to try and see if Olive Osmer will be up for having a chat about the game. Join back with me in a minute as we get ready for some player and coach interviews.
Charging into your future as a Lancer is about meaningful relationships, learning at the crossroads of history and innovation, championing one another's success, and empowering every student to achieve their dreams. We are a community that knows one another by name, offers the quality education needed to get the most out of life, and the friendships that support us throughout the journey. We hold tight to a legacy of pioneering, knowing that by honoring our values, we can charge into our futures together and become the purpose-minded people that change the world. Becoming a Lancer is about more than academics. It's about discovering your passion and feeling at home.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with libero Olive Osmer. Olive, unlucky tonight, but how do you think the game went?
I think it went really well as a team. I mean, we knew that it was going to be a tough one, especially with Ricky out, but I think we need to get some adversity and just step up and do as best as we can, and we actually did pretty good. And I think in the locker room after the game, we talked about it, and coach is like, don't hang our heads because we played pretty good.
And I must say, one of the big noticeable things for me is Vladimir being out is obviously a massive hit, but with each game that's gone by, you've looked more and more comfortable in that libero role. Just tell me how difficult it's been to try and adapt to that.
I wouldn't say it's been very difficult. I mean, some of the getting in my head can be a little bit, but I think having my teammates there for me and all the support from the crowds, fans, and coaches every day at practice, it helps a lot. And you just kind of gotta like not think about it as much and just say, hey, it's for the team. Don't just volleyball's made for mistakes, and every point there was a mistake, so you kind of just got to move on after that. So it's been good. Yeah.
And I must say, one of the big differences, especially in that third set for EWC there, was the servicing. I don't think we had a service error in that third set, and that was fantastic to see. And your serving in particular was fantastic. Have you really been trying to focus on that power serve to backcourt?
Thank you. We practice serves every day. Coach has us do a lot of serving drills, so I think it just comes to that and just going back to the line and deep breaths and just swinging away and not thinking about it too much. But yeah, we practice all the time, so it's been good.
And looking forward to kind of Western Wyoming now. I mean, as you said, you just kind of need to live and forget sometimes, and certainly tonight will be one of those examples. But looking forward to Western Wyoming. How are you feeling?
Pretty good, actually. I think we got a lot of excitement, fans coming for pink out that night, so make sure everyone wears pink, and I think we can probably get a lot of players in and get reps from that.
And how's the elbow? I saw when you came out of the changing room, I saw the fact you had a massive bruise on your elbow.
It actually happened in the game on last Saturday, and I actually didn't even notice until I looked over and it was swollen. I was like, huh, but it's okay. It's just really purple, and yeah, it's okay.
And I'm sure aggravated ever more by tonight. You were diving around. You were fantastic tonight.
Olive,
thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have even got George Hamilton up here as well, so you are going to stay with me for a second as we get George Hamilton all set up here. Coach, welcome, and thank you very much for giving the time to me to kind of interview you. Just give me your insight on the game. Unlucky tonight, but how did it go?
Right now we're trying to relearn each other and everything, because it's not that the other liberos aren't good. That's stepping in and helping us out. They're doing a good job, but it's just not the same as somebody that has that international experience, that's played internationally, and that where they just read the game and they're able to bail us out in a lot of situations because they can read and anticipate so much more, whether the other ones are still learning how to do that. And so, like I say, I was overall happy with our effort and everything. I mean, I felt like we didn't just say back and just say, hey, you guys won this. That we still fought all the way to the end. And like I say, I feel like if we get ourselves healthy and get ourselves, playing good, the most important thing is just get into the regional tournament to give ourselves a chance. And I really feel like once we get to the regional tournament, that we have the girls that can be able to do it and everything if we get ourselves playing as that full team concept.
And you mentioned about kind of losing Vladina and that kind of being something that you've had to adapt to. How difficult has that been to adapt to? And I was just talking with Olive, and I thought tonight she played fantastic. She mentioned about the fact that there were quite a few errors in there from her point of view, but she's kind of keeping focused on just letting them go and just kind of live on for another day. And just tell me how difficult it's been to kind of get Olive and Rachel to kind of fill into Vladina's shoes.
Well, we always say, in our practices and everything, because they're practicing with the top players all the time and everything anyway. And I always just say it's just a matter of us learning how to play with each other. They've had that experience in practice a lot, playing with them, those other ones and that. So now it's just a matter of them stepping up and everything. But like I say, there's some intangibles that just comes with the high volleyball IQ that comes from playing at that real high level. And unfortunately, they don't have that experience that Valdena brings to us.
And just kind of let's touch on some of the good things, which there were plenty of kind of tonight. And the service, especially from like the third set onwards, was fantastic. I mean, Una Stepic, I think, had at least like 5 kills there to end the game. And she didn't make a service error all game. How important do you think that is, and how important is that to have in your team and kind of keeping those errors off the board?
Yeah, it's big. Like I'll just say, first set and everything, we build up a good lead, and then we miss 4 service errors, and all of a sudden we're tied with them, and we're fighting tooth and nail, and they end up pulling up victorious at the end. It's just small things like that we can control a little bit. I always say, everything else is dependent on other people or anything except for the serve. That's the one thing that in volleyball you can control. Like in basketball, one thing you can control is your free throws. Everything else you can really control. It's just what is given to you, and that's the same thing for volleyball is your serve. And so we just gotta we have a goal to serve over 90%, and in the games that we win this year, and that we're serving over the 90%, and almost every single one that we lost, we have served less than 90%.
And just kind of run me through, obviously, we've got a match. It is the pink out match against Western Wyoming now. Kind of, you're 3 and 4 in the conference now, but just run me through what does that Western Wyoming game look like for you?
They're currently last. They're dealing with a lot of injuries, so I always say, but it's not anybody you can look over, and that because of the fact that they have some of the talent if they get healthy and bring some players back, and that doesn't mean that they're going to be that team that's 0-7 in conference and everything. So it's a team we can't overlook, but at the same time it's a match that we should be coming in focused and thinking that we should be able to win.
And just lastly, Coach Hamilton, kind of who are some of the kind of notable players that really for you shone out today?
I really thought that Lana Asante with her blocking, especially that first set, really helped set the tone for us to get our defense going and everything, because I build my team off of defense and everything. Before Valdena got hurt and everything, she was leading the whole nation in digs, and our team was number 2 in the nation in digs. And so we're just got to find different ways for us to get that defensive intensity back up again and keep ourselves up there, because defense is what's going to keep us into the game and win games for us.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you coming up here and talking to me kind of at the end of this game. Unlucky tonight, but go again on Saturday.
Oh, thank you.
So that was George Hamilton there, just giving a bit of insight into the game. And yes, it was a game in which the Lady Lancers lost, but there were lots of positives to take from it. It's been a pleasure giving this game to you today. The Lady Lancers will be going again on the 17th of October against Western Wyoming. It is our pink out fixture, so please come down and enjoy a night of volleyball. It is promising to be a very fun evening. Make sure that you wear pink and that you show your support for breast cancer awareness. Well, I've been Jamie Lambert. It's been a fantastic game to present to you today. And don't forget to Lancer up. Please join us for the 17th of October.